Dust. More dust. I let this thing sit for a few days and harden up. And of course, a shop being what it is, and my shop not being, big enough to have a dust-proof room in it, it collects a little bit of sanding dust and stuff. But that doesn't mean that all is lost or anything's lost. There's the savior. It's a tack cloth. These are available at all paint stores and some hardware stores. And like application of a tack cloth, I've got this little thing where I have a plan for wiping guitars down, just like I have a plan for spraying them. And I just go over them very lightly. The tack cloth has varnish in it, which is sticky, and it pulls up any small dust particles, and all the big ones too, as a matter of fact. So I'm taking all the dust off now. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tint the binding, as I mentioned in the last couple of videos, so that it's not just such a stark white color. And then we'll go in and over the tint we start applying clear coat. And I will generally clear coat a guitar like this at least twice with sanding in between. And every time I clear coat is anywhere from 4 to 6 coats. And of course, you can talk about thickness of finish, but when we sand, we take more than half of it away. The aim is to level the surface, provide a real smooth surface for a high gloss finish. And I'll also do the occasional matte finish, but high gloss is kind of what I specialize in, and it really presents this type of wood grain to its best effect. Okay, I'm all done tack clothing. When we come back, you're going to hear the background noise of the booth fan, but we've deactivated the compressor because the tank is big enough right now to deal with spraying this whole thing without kicking in. So we won't have compressor noise this time. In here is the same amber tint that I used for the center of the burst. Remember, I tinted the whole guitar with amber before we even did any burst on it. Except that this time, as you may be able to see as I shake the gun, it's quite watered down. And the whole aim here is I'm going to tint the binding in a nice light amber color, so it's a little bit warmer, it's not quite so cold looking. Now, because it's such a light amber, I really don't have to mask the binding or anything. I can shoot over the binding and the burst, and nobody's going to be the wiser. It saves a lot of time. There's no real need to mask it off. Okay, so I've got the pattern about medium. It's not shooting a whole lot of tint there. And I'll start where I usually start, which is here. I'm going to go down vertically. But I want you to kind of check out, how much amber we're going to get. Very, very nice light. You won't even be able to see it with that camera. A very nice light amber all the way down. Very tasty. Now I'm at like a 45-degree angle to the side and back, which allows me, of course, to get both with one shot. Now I'm going to come back and we'll do the front and a little bit of the neck binding. There we go. Very nice job. I like this softer color. Okay. Now I'm going to flip it around and get the other side a little bit, and then I can't forget to go for the bottom, And I'm always kind of tipping it so that it's for the light source. It's easier to read how much color I have on there. And I got a little bit brighter of a light. Okay. Binding's done there. How's the front look? Front looks pretty much done. I'm going to show you something in just a second that I noticed. And that's the reason I haven't touched the bottom too much yet. You'll see in just a second. Okay, put the gun back. Now, you're going to have to bring that camera down. I'm going to kind of turn this here. Right there. You see it? Somehow it picked up some dirt in the binding. So I haven't sprayed this bottom yet because I saw that dirt and I want to correct that right away. So what I'm going to do, I've got a little piece of sandpaper here. It's a 320 grit, and I am actually going to stand here, and although the binding's already dry, so all I'm going to do is touch up that one little spot to remove the dirt before I go and I hit it with some tint. No sense in tinting over dirt, right? Stubborn. I have to touch up part of the burst there too. Okay, we'll come in and hit this with a little bit of tint down here now. And we'll rotate it and check it out. Notice I'm not doing the fretboard markers. You don't want those to look too yellow. They're kind of unattractive if they're real. See the thumbprint? That'll come out. Kind of unattractive. That thumbprint is dust. We'll tack cloth it, and then when we put clear coat over it, it won't even show. Okay, that's it for this installment. The next thing I'm going to do is clear coat. Now when I do the clear coat, I'm going to have to be wearing the half-mask respirator. So I'm going to do a voiceover instead of talking through it. So you're just going to see me spray with a voiceover. I'm going to try a voiceover on this editing program. I've never done it before. Okay.
We're back. And here I'm holding the gun. Right there is how much clear coat we're going to use for the first few coats. Now the adjustment on the gun is going to be a little bit wider. I'm opening the volume of air all the way up, and I've got kind of a low volume of spray going through. The fluid needle's turned in quite a bit. I'm going to start at my usual place, and what I'm doing here is I'm putting a light foggy coat, we call it a mist coat, that's M-I-S-T, of clear coat over the entire guitar. You can see as the light catches it, it's not real shiny. It's kind of a matte finish. Now the reason I do this is, first of all, it's gonna remove static from the guitar's surface after tack clothing, and second of all, it provides better adhesion for the wet coats that are about to follow. Now I've just turned up the pattern because we're doing a larger area, being the front and the back. And again, I'm just spraying a light mist coat. You can see how fast I'm going over this whole thing. And the aim here is just to get a tacky mist coat on. Now I'm about to turn up the volume, turn down the pattern a little bit, and we'll start, there I go, turning. Okay, turn down the pattern. And I'm going to start at my usual spot, shooting the clear, and you can see immediately how, first of all, that thumbprint is covered, no problem, and how much shine we're getting on the guitar. Now this is only the very first of what's probably going to be something like 5 layers of clear coat done in fairly rapid succession with only a couple minutes drying time in between them. We call it actually flash time because the material doesn't actually dry, but it does get rid of a lot of its solvent, so you can spray another coat on top of it right away and it won't run. So we've got first coat going on here. You can see the amount of shine. It's very glassy, very shiny. And now I'm going to turn the guitar around, I think, and we're going to do the front, no, the back. Okay, I'm guessing along here. You know, it's been a while since I've seen this. So I've just turned the pattern up wide again, and we're shooting the back. And like I told you, whenever I shoot something like this, I always begin at the bottom and work toward the top of the surface when it's hanging vertically. You can see how I'm looking at the surface, not the gun, not the spray, but the surface. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm picking up on, look at that shine. Yeah, it's pretty good. The grain is really popping here. The reason I do this from the bottom to the top is because I want to catch the gloss in the fluorescent lights, which are mounted on the ceiling of the spray booth in explosion-proof containers. So now, or housings, I should say. So now here I am shooting the very front, and again, you can see where I'm looking from. I'm glancing down at it because that shows me how much material I have on and where my overlaps are, so I don't get any dry spots or runs. And now I'm going to do the fretboard in gloss, and 4 more coats and we'll be all done here.